Okay, well, I have family down in Houston, Matt, and you know what? I lived there for like almost a decade, and I don't have any memory of any snow, and so this is crazy to hear that snow's going there.
It's insane, yeah, and that tells you how far-reaching this cold air mass is, Matt. I mean, it's all the way down to the Gulf Coast. We mentioned this last week, and I saw in the modeling that, some of the models were picking up on an ice storm for Florida, and I'm like, that'll change, that'll shift north. It hasn't, all right, and they're going to be dealing with that down south. So I want to start big picture because you mentioned that snow and ice down in Houston. Winter storm warnings from Houston over towards areas like New Orleans, Montgomery, and then getting into the I-10 corridor through Florida. We're expecting anywhere from 1 to 3, even up to 6 inches of snow. New Orleans and areas just north of New Orleans are going to get the most snow in Louisiana, and then that stretches over into areas of the panhandle of Florida. Just incredible. They've got the moisture. We don't have the moisture here, but we have the cold. Because remember, the Arctic doesn't have a lot of moisture with it. And so this is very dry air coming in. But look at the extent of these cold weather alerts, not just here locally, but basically the eastern two-thirds of the country just encompassed by this cold. We have weather impact alerts. We've been highlighting this for about a week now. Today, tomorrow, and Wednesday for the cold. Avoid outside if necessary. You need to take extra precaution for your pets. Make sure they're inside. People as well, and then your pipes. We want to have that slow drip on and cabinets open, especially at night, but even during the daytime. If you're not home, you want to leave that faucet dripping at least, if not at a kind of a pencil width of a stream. Depending on if it's an outside location or not, or close to the outside. All right, 8 degrees Hopkins right now. We're at -9 for a wind chill value. I mean, area-wide, we're dealing with the cold. I want to show you this real quick, though. It's warmer in Alaska than it is here right now. That's just so sad. Anchorage sitting at a balmy 34. That sounds pretty nice right now. This air is obviously displaced. It's not where it belongs. We're at 4 degrees in Akron, 2 in Mansfield right now. But you factor in the wind, which has been real gusty near the lakeshore, causing some blowing snow. We've had some problems with some drifting on area roadways. And we've got wind chills that are between -5 and -17 at times when the wind blows. Remember, the wind chill is not a snapshot like we're showing you. It fluctuates as that wind blows. And we've got wind chill values that are much colder, -30 to -45 in the northern tier of the country. I mean, if you thought it was bad here, it gets even worse off towards the north. This is all with this big Arctic high that comes in. We're dealing with some lake effect snow still. We had quite a bit over the last 24 hours. Things starting to shift a little bit as the wind shifts, so it kind of broke up the band overnight. But we're seeing a new band of lake snow that's developing now, heading right through downtown Cleveland, the heart of Cuyahoga County. This will eventually curve its way up towards areas of lake in northern Geauga and Cuyahoga County. In my mind, that's how this goes as that wind continues to veer. And the big question is later on today, does this lake effect band head offshore, or does it hug our lakeshore like Lake and Ashtabula County? We could have some lingering lake snow for much of the day in those locations. In terms of the cold for everyone else, though, the core of this moves over us tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night into Wednesday. That's going to be the coldest period. So yes, cold today, cold tomorrow morning, but it really moves in tomorrow afternoon. I'll show you that here in the forecast. Wind chill values -5 to -15-ish today, -10 to 25 below tomorrow, and ditto that Wednesday morning. So take a look, National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. There's our lake band that kind of settles off towards the north today. Could get a couple inches additional up in Lake and Ashtabula County this afternoon. Here's your wind chill value, though. That's what we're going to keep our eye on. Again, staying steady throughout the day today, but then tonight we drop back anywhere between -10 and -15. So real cold tomorrow morning. But here comes the real cold stuff. Another front goes through with snow showers tomorrow. We go from 10 degrees at noon down to below 0 for that drive home. And look at how cold these wind chills get tomorrow night. -20 to -27 below. And that's how we start our Wednesday morning. So superintendents, if you're thinking about school on Wednesday, these numbers are worse than on Tuesday. Both days are bad, but Wednesday morning looks particularly bad. And then we'll moderate as we get into the afternoon, but a little bit too late in the forecast. So still cold Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we bounce out of that. That's the good news. Now, what about snow? I mentioned the lake snow for areas of Lake and Ashtabula County this afternoon. That could continue, but other than that, this cold air does not have a lot of moisture. We're not connected with the Gulf. We're not even connected with the Pacific Ocean, so there's not a lot of moisture with this. So I don't see any big snowstorms coming our way. We're going to have to keep our eye on next week, though. When the pattern changes, we tap into the Gulf. May have some kind of snowstorm somewhere in the eastern half of the country, but models still flip-flopping on that. Nothing is set in stone yet. What is set in stone is this cold air, and if it's set in stone, it's going to be frozen. We've got 8, 7, and 11, respectively, next 3 days. and then we're up near freezing on Saturday. So Matt, not much improvement here over the next 72 hours.
Okay, well, you warned us. Thanks.